You guys are definitely doing something right, because you've been nominated for 2 SAMA Awards, Best Rock Album and Best Engineer.
Yeah, Matthew Fink was our engineer and producer.
He's doing a lot of stuff nowadays, that chap.
Yeah, man, he's a busy guy.
Yeah.
But
How
yeah,
was it working with him?
That's cool. It's always nice to be with Matthew in the studio. He's very very open to our ideas, and he'll kind of he just let us do whatever we want. Obviously, if something's completely not working, he'll step in and be like, "That sounds terrible," or "That take was shit," or whatever. But like, he's cool to work with. He's not restrictive at all.
He's great as a producer. He's
he knows how it should sound, in my opinion.
Exactly, he knows exactly how to bring out the best of our sound.
He's known us from the beginning, from the early days when we first started, because he was in the Black Hotels. We played a couple of gigs together as well, and it's just been interesting to to work with him. I never expected to work with him as a producer because I never knew he was one.
Okay.
And I guess he always had an idea as well of what he'd like to hear, because he was an audience member for so many years.
Yes,
So he knows us well, and he knows our moods and stuff as well, which is important. He works with musicians really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good to be sort of have that third eye that you can you know, look at the sort of product from. 'Cause, you know, even with us, bands come through the door and they have their opinion how it should sound, and you have yours, and it can kind of conflict. But obviously,
I think,
you know,
the
you've managed to.
They're also like people who they're almost like buffers.
Yes.
Yeah, Matthew's got a very calm energy. He's very calming. He's like, he doesn't get uptight or crazy, or so if we're struggling with something, he's like, he's always
Comes and relaxes you guys.
Yeah, he's good at bringing us back down to
Or just-
earth, or just showing perspective, or whatever, or like say, okay, now move on to that, and we'll come back to
Yeah.
that later, and whatever.
You guys quite toned down quite a bit in the second album, you know, compared to Guns and Money. Do you think that he really helped you kind of round that out nicely?
You see, we wrote the album ourselves. We were hatched up in Louis' old place, and we locked ourselves in there for 3 months, and we just started writing.
We did occasionally go out.
So I occasionally didn't pitch up as well for like a week. So that was all our own sort of doing, and I think a lot of the writing was very personal. It came from our own sort of. Louis came on board with a lot of the riffs as well. The first album I wrote pretty much all the riffs, except for 1 or 2. You know, it was one actually, which was which was
Block 16.
Yeah. That was all our own doing. When we went into a studio, we knew exactly what we wanted to do, and Matthew had heard the material, and that's how it worked.
Yeah, I think the songs were just
mean,
they were maybe were of a bit of a different nature. They weren't like as raw. Also, it's how the recording came across that made it.
You
The
guys
songs are
recorded-
very powerful as well,
Yeah.
and they
Also
are
like
quite
technology.
heavy.
I mean, with the first album, you guys recorded that in 9 days, right? And with no backing track, I mean, you just went in and did it.
Yeah,
It's
we
the
did a
same thing with
similar process this time. I think we just kind of focused more on adding a bit more texture.
It was still just 14 days, a track a day
Okay, cool.
for this one.
The vibe within the band as well was very different.
Yeah,
I was like going through a very spiritual experience, cleaning up. We were strengthening, as you know, within our interpersonal, you know, outfit.
Yeah, a lot of the songs are mainly about, you know, this journey that you've been going on, you know. Is it true that one of the songs is also written about Taylor?
Yeah, Melanie Electric Love.
Cool.
Yeah, we all feel the same about about that. You know, she's
We all date the same girl.
Any chance we can hear one of those songs?
Well, you do have a strong relationship, you guys.
Yeah. Hey.
I'll kick you ass.
I think also what changed the sound is like our access to like technology and like the toys that you know became available and that kind of thing through like our endorsement with Music Connection.
It's not just an outfit in the garage anymore.
It was like the last album was recorded like with nothing. It was like, you know, a
Very
cool sounding
strict.
drum kit, like straight bass.
Yeah.
Like and
I was using
guitar pedals that we used.
I was using a Hughes and Kettner with, you know, using the actual drive on the amp every show we were doing. When I went into studio, Matthew had all these pedals. Like, whoa, how does this work? And like, you know, got into that and found guitar tones, and like from there, Louis got me a Mudhoney from Music Connection. Then I started going and like just getting more and more pedals and like trying to get the sound of the album in. But one thing I'd like to say is that album was a very punky, quick, nailed out 9 days. That was the style. It was an
Yeah,
aggressive
real dirty
style.
rock and roll.
We also
I
felt
love
like
that.
we were
Yeah.
gunning for it. Like,
I still listen to it now. Like,
Yeah, I mean, well, you guys got great reviews. One of the reviews was actually that someone's gonna listen to your album and then make the best gangster movie ever. I don't know if you guys heard. That was one of the 5M DJs.
so cool.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
That's cool.
That's right.
Exploring like tones and all these kinds of things, and then so like the first album is maybe like it captured like a moment, in like the formation of this.
So
thing.
in
What you
between
guys are
two
about.
spaces
It's like it
now,
documented
and
like
the
a
second one,
sound
would
and
you
a
say?
style and a period, and then I guess the 2 years went by. So like we got toys and we played at different things.
Growing
and
up,
blah,
your
blah, blah,
sound's
blah.
growing up.
And then maybe like I think that I don't know if maybe the second album is like a teething to like what maybe the third album will be or something. For me,
Sure.
it's like I like it. I love the first one. I love the second one. Like the second one. I'm like I want to do the next one already.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with both those albums.
Who will be your influences now, do you think, with the third album? You've had Kings of Leon.
I just want to accumulate as much new music as I can. So who knows? I love the Arctic Monkeys album that came out. It'll be dated by the time we bring it up. It's already dated. It's dated the next day after it's released. In terms of how the music world's working with so many bands coming out, but I'm just keen to explore as many sounds as possible, and I'm keen to bring in new instruments as well. I want to have an organ. I want to have something that growls and some like
a
a
bass
cool
organ.
synth.
Almost
in
like a
it.
Like a
folk
Wolfmother
punk
short
kind of
stuff.
vibe.
Yeah.
Like a what?
Folk punk.
Ah.
Have you guys ever heard of that genre? It's
Folk punk.
Yeah. Do you guys know Captain Stu?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
It's
John
that thing.
Chabin and for an interview,
Okay.
and he's focusing all his music on this folk punk revolution that's going on now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think the cool thing, even in writing the second album, the cool thing about like the three of us playing and writing music together is that like we don't just stick to one sound or one thing. There are places we don't go, obviously, but I mean,
Like bass pedals from the 90s.
yeah, we don't go like down like avant-garde kind of thing. It's we want to make like punchy, rocking music, but I mean how we get there is not always the same like process. You know what I mean?
I'm keen on actually creating avant-garde, incorporating the avant-garde and making it work, as a song. The avant-garde is often doesn't. It's not like a song. It's not a
Yes, it
creature that
becomes
you can.
some sort of concerto.
It's a feeling. It sets a scene rather than being a song that people can attach memories and feelings to, and you know what I mean. I guess I'm not describing it.
What did we listen to on the way home last night? The Beatles. That is some crazy music.
Yeah, some of it gets pretty far.
Jeez, I
true.
couldn't believe it. I mean, you listen to the Beatles and there's all this like whole like story behind it and like you buy into it, and whatever. But if you actually just sit back and go like, what the hell is going on here?
See, I grew up with that. I grew up with the
So
Beatles, so it
odd.
makes a lot of sense to me. It's like I'm always open to that crazy. I love that craziness.
Well, it was sort of the new era in recording, before that was very much
never
Frank
heard the
Sinatra,
early
guys
Beatles
like
though.
that.
The more like if it was more pop kind of strong, recognizable.
yeah.
pop. I never heard that.
They do stray away from the
So
sort
I've
of
only ever
basic
heard
structure.
that like we
a
all
lot
live
of
in the
time.
yellow submarine, you know what I mean? Which is like
Yeah, straight up.
it's
The
cool, but
earliest
it's
stuff was
weird,
pop.
you
Yeah.
know?
Oh wait, well before we finish it off, we really like to end it off with a dirty joke. So, do you guys have your dirtiest joke for us?
Dirty joke.
Yeah.
I got it.
No judgment,
Oh,
no PG-13. Your dirtiest joke.
No. How's it go? Yeah, I got one. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Go fuck yourself.
Short and sweet, like it.
An Indian guy walks into a bar with a parrot on his shoulder, And the barman says, geez, that's cool, where did you get that? And the parrot says, I got them in India. There's thousands of them.
That sounds like a Savannah Dry ad.
This guy's best friend is a giraffe, and he goes to a pub, and he gets wasted with this giraffe for like 3 days, like in a row. And eventually the barman, he's just like, what the fuck are you two guys doing? What the hell's going on here? So he says, it's last round, you guys got to get out of here. He rings the bell, and so the barman gets up and he saunters towards the door, and he's wasted, and he stands in the doorway leaning against the arches, and the giraffe follows him closely on, and the giraffe just can't turn, he just passes out in front of the bar. And the barman, who's Irish at the time, says, "Oi, you can't leave that lane here!" And the guy turns around and he goes, "It's not a lion, it's a giraffe."
That's a nice clean one. I take that one.
So we'll cut that one.